Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're here today. We're here today. We're here today again. So I'm very happy today. And then today, if you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Otto Tom, and I am the workaholic. If you're afraid of traveling alone, then this video is for you. Don't go anywhere. If you like the content that I'm sharing here, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on your notifications so that you would get notified every time I bring you really nice videos like this. So let's get to the discussion we have today. If you are afraid to travel alone, then this video is for you. Most of the things we fear do not actually happen. And then I remember when I started traveling, I didn't really have a choice because I wanted to see these places, and then they were my goals, they were my dreams, but it wasn't easy for me to find someone else who was on the same page with me. I was willing to sacrifice more to leave my travel dreams, but of course I had friends who obviously had other priorities. And then what did that mean? You know, when I want something, I want it. I went all out to fulfill my travel dreams, and what that meant for me was I had to do it alone. And so I started traveling alone. Was I afraid? Yes. Am I still afraid most times? Yes. But regardless, I do it afraid. And so when you're thinking of when you say you want to travel solo, it is totally okay to be afraid. But just because you're afraid of doing something doesn't mean that you should not do it. I just learned that word, you know, and that's why I'm putting out there for you. So now, how can I help you overcome your fear of traveling alone? Now, I'm able to share this experience because, like I said, most of my trips are done solo, and I have traveled across 5 continents of the world. I have traveled through Africa, I have traveled to South America, I have traveled through North America, I have traveled through Asia, and I've also traveled through Europe. And most of these continents I have visited, the destinations I visited, I traveled alone. Yes. Before you travel, spend time discovering your destination. Now, what do I mean? The internet is your friend. What you should do is that you should spend time online researching about that destination. Most times, what people usually they say, don't listen to what they say, go see. Most times, the media representation of a particular destination does not depict the exact state of that destination. I would say this because I remember when I was visiting Bosnia and Herzegovina, in the media there are lots of very negative war-related stories about Bosnia, but I don't know anyone who has been to Bosnia and was not thrilled or pleasantly surprised, because it is a very beautiful destination. All the stories about the war that we hear is in the past. They're like, spend time on the internet, read real stories, find out people who live in that destination. Social media is a platform where people can connect with just about anyone all over the world. You have Instagram, you have Facebook. Ask questions where necessary, and then the good thing is that once you do that, you would have the confidence, you would have done your research, and then you have your itinerary, and having shortlisted the places that you want to see, and then you would be able to visit, be confident enough to visit this place. But first, you need to do your research. You need to research on the best areas that you should stay. You need to research on the areas that would favor you, because there's no point staying an hour away from, or an hour or 2 hours away from the places of interest, so you shouldn't be, it's not such a huge task, just go research and find out hotels that are close to the places you want to be, on the things you want to see, and then it will just help you. So money takes care of a whole lot of problems. So if you encounter difficulties or if you have any problem, your money would speak for you. So before you travel solo, make sure that you have sufficient money with you. And sufficient money, it would just depend on your lifestyle. For example, you had already paid for a hotel, and then you get to that destination and realize that you do not like the hotel that you're in, maybe the area is not so safe, and maybe you try to get a refund and they're like, oh, they're not going to give you a refund. If you have money with you, it can actually take care of that last minute need that you may have. For example, let's say you go out, you go somewhere and then you miss your way, and let's say you use public transportation. Having money with you would just make it easy for you to take a taxi, no matter the cost, because at that point in time, your safety would be your priority. So it's important to have sufficient funds so that you can enjoy your destination. I always encourage people, when you're going somewhere for the first time, do not be broke, because you don't know anyone, it's your first time, and then you don't want to go there, you don't want to go there and then you are stranded. So have enough money to take care of your basic needs, and then have a little extra just in case of an emergency. Join a group tour. This would be the best advice I may give you, because the reason why I encourage people to join a group tour, and join it very early in your trip, like if you arrive at the destination today and you're too tired. For me, most times when I arrive, I just hit the ground running. If I arrive early in the morning, best believe I am going on a tour the same day. I don't arrive to rest. I arrive and then I hit the ground running. So when you arrive at your destination, if you want to rest, take a day or two and rest. But I think you should do it really early. I advise you to do it the next day. I would do it the same day. For example, if I arrive in the morning, early in the morning, of course I had slept all through, on the plane, I would usually join, the tour same day. But if you can't do that, you can do it the next day, or maybe there's an evening tour. You can do it. The good thing about joining the tour really early on your trip, is because it would give you enough time. It would help you discover the city, and then you're going to be with an expert, maybe like a tour guide, someone who whose business it is to show you around the city. So it is important that you do this really early in the trip, because, for example, you can ask all the questions that you may have. So join a group tour once you get in, and I would recommend walking tours. Walking tours are usually very informative, very educative, and then it gives you more like a local feel, because you're actually walking around, all the notable landmarks, and then you're interacting with the tour guide and with other travelers, and then you're discovering, your destination. So I always usually just find a walking tour, and then join a walking tour, and then ask the tour guide all the questions. And most of them are always very pleasant people. They're always very happy, to hand out this information. Join a tour very early, and then ask all the questions from your tour guide. Identify the destinations you would like to visit again, and know your surrounding, and then connect with other travelers, especially people who are traveling solo. But even if they're not traveling solo, you can also find a group of people who are very receptive and also willing to have you on board. So, and that, if you are on a budget, stay in a hostel. Now, you might worry, oh, I don't want to share my room, I don't like to share toilets, I don't want people to steal my things, I do not trust them. That is valid. If that is not your thing, stay in a private room. Now, why do I want you to stay in a hostel? It's because hostels are usually designed and targeted at a particular category of people. And who are these people? They are mostly people who are interested in exploring. They are mostly people who are probably visiting the city, you know, they are on a budget, but at the same time, they want to maximize their trip. They want to see everything. And so because of that, this hostels usually have like activities. They have daily activities packed on a budget that you can participate in. So, and even as much as just going down for breakfast, you know, normally most hostels would give you breakfast because they know those travelers. So even for the little amount that you pay, you would still get like breakfast, and most times very good, you know, breakfast where you have like eggs and toast and juices and fruits and, you know, yogurt and the rest of them. So you would be, people who stay in hostels are more, because they are there, they know they are going to meet other travelers, they are more receptive. You know, you could make a very good friend over breakfast, you can make a very good friend over dinner. Some hostels will give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, I have seen that before. So some of them would, they see travelers all the time, they know your needs, and then the people who come in there are more open to interact with people, and then they're more receptive, and then you could just make a friend over breakfast. And even if you're not staying in a hostel, for example, if you're staying in a hotel that is close to the hostel, you can actually leave where you are and go and join their group tour. It will help you, you know, connect with those people. So you go out on the tour and then you go back to your hotel and then you interact with these people again. Like, oh, for example, you go on a tour and then you meet a few friends and then you're like, oh, would you, what are you people doing later? You know, there's always something. Anyone who is out traveling would always have something on their itinerary. So you can join in, you can, you know, you can invite, if they don't invite you, you can offer, you know, invite yourself. You know, if you have where you want to see and then you don't want to go alone, you can invite someone else, like, oh, I want to go to this place. Oh, do you want to see it? Have you seen it? Do you want to see it? And then you, most times, you know, people, you would find someone that wants to do the same thing you want to do. When it comes to safety, you should know that most personal safety problems arise where you stay out late, or you go to really sketchy neighborhood, or you are intoxicated. And so that being said, you can control you can control if those things happen or not. And how do you control? By avoiding, you know, staying out late, or even when you're staying out late, you try not to drink too much, so you are still in control of your senses, and then you just avoid really sketchy areas, especially at night. If you run into problems, do not be afraid, you know, or shy to ask questions. So I would say that traveling solo is very educative. It helps you, you know yourself better. It helps you connect with other people. It may be the scariest and most liberating, life-changing experience. Have you traveled solo before? What are the important lessons that you learned while traveling solo? I would like to hear from you, so please leave your comment here, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos like this. So till I see you next week, bye.